This week on Tech Talk Tonight, we talk about Instagram and where you can track Santa, and also what you can do when you have way too much sheet music and not enough space. All that and more coming up next.
This is Tech Talk Tonight, episode number 72, recorded December 19th, 2012. A classic. And hello there, this is Tech Talk Tonight. I am your host, Braden, Henze, and I am here with my inevitable host, Gavin Rehkemper, everybody.
I'm sorry, my co-host is Beethoven, and he's losing his hearing, so he can't hear himself. That's why he can't note the pitch of his voice. Exactly. What are you wearing?
Me? I am just wearing my normal everyday garb. Obviously, I'm just here in the basement, performing tonight, as we always do here at Tech Talk Tonight. Absolutely, everything is normal.
This is almost as good
here.
As the time that you showed up as Kermit the Frog, but not as good as the time that you showed up as the other thing that you were for Halloween.
A horse?
No, you're something else. Man, we've been doing this show for too long.
We have been doing this show for too long. I was Quasimodo the year before that.
Oh, yeah. Enough. That wasn't that great. Anyway, how are you doing?
Ouch! You just said it was the best, never mind.
No, this is number 2. Kermit was number 1. Quasimodo is, number...
Ouch.
9.
Well, we know how I am. How are you, actually, Gavin? What's up with your world?
I am great. Just hanging out here, following the tech stories. Apparently there's some sort of classical music theme for our show today, but...
I would have no idea why that would happen. Is that because of some sort of thing that we do every week?
I think it's because of your wife.
That sounds like some sort of joke there, but I don't think there is.
There's a joke somewhere. But, so yeah, what's going on in tech...
Are we... What?
Really? What? I can't hear it. Oh, turn that crap off. Let's get started with some tech stories, and then maybe later we will hear about the classical music.
Okay.
Instagram.
Shoot. Yeah, Instagram. What the hell are they doing?
Do you use Instagram?
I do use Instagram.
Well, this week Instagram released their new terms of service that are going to kick into effect in January, I think January 16th. And people were not happy about it. Have you been following, Braden?
I have been following. They're going to basically be able to use your pictures for any type of advertisement that they feel fit. They're going to, they own your content. So if you're an underage woman and you take a picture of yourself in a compromising position, they own that and then should be held liable, right?
I mean, we're not lawyers. You'd have to actually read the original document, but that was along those lines that people were freaking out that they thought that people were going... that Instagram could essentially be the iStock photo and sell your photos without you even knowing. Be like iStock photo.
Okay, so we know the story a while back of Facebook now owning Instagram. Do you think this is Facebook putting their meat hooks into Instagram and being like...
sending their lawyers over to the Instagram side of the wall?
Right.
I mean, it could be. But then, so everybody was up in arms on Monday. By Tuesday, Instagram posted a official blog post saying it's not our intention to sell your photos. We screwed up. Blah blah blah.
Cat frog.
And they promised to update their terms of service, which was exciting. I don't know. I guess that's good. Like Monday, were you planning on quitting Instagram?
No. Why would I spend that time to actually go out there and quit Instagram? I would literally have to pull off all the photos I've put on there already, right?
Yeah, and there's easy ways to do that. And Lifehacker had Instagram alternatives that we'll put in the show notes. Most of them were not that good. Most of them were either Facebook has filters now, or the Flickr iPhone app is much better now.
I'm partial to Camera Plus. I like the features that gives me for just taking a picture and their filters.
There used to be a direct Instagram competitor called Pixela or something. I forget what it was. No, I don't know. But it had something. And Hipster, Streamzoo, Pixelomatic,
Pixelomatic?
Flickr. So yeah, there's some alternatives out there, but they're not as good, and the user base isn't there.
I'm just mugging for the camera now, so yes, I agree with you.
Even Will Wheaton posted.
Will Wheaton! My arch nemesis, Will Wheaton.
Why? So explain to me what you were talking. You were like confusing me about Will Wheaton.
Well, first off, I don't think you actually know who Will Wheaton is.
That's
the problem.
He's the host of some board game podcast, I think.
I think that's one of the things that he's least known for, though. A little thing called Star Trek The Next Generation, I think, would be on the top of his bill. And then probably right below that is The Big Bang Theory, which is currently airing in a big popular show.
Big Bang Theory. He's on it?
Yeah, he's a guest star quite often in the Big Bang Theory. He plays himself.
Oh, I've seen like 2 of those episodes. I've never seen him on it.
First he was Sheldon, one of the main protagonists, is arch nemesis, and then they're friends now. So he shows up from time to time. You didn't mention the Guild either. He was
Is he in the Guild?
Antagonist for a season in the Guild as well.
Anyway, so speaking of Apple products, there was another interesting story out there this week. It's not so much breaking news, but Apple apparently
it's interesting.
Claimed that the Midwestern United States is too humid for the iMac. Basically, there's this story on the Consumerist blog about how this guy keeps getting moisture behind the screen of his iMac, and Apple
wasn't
was
this an issue with the iPhones at first too? Man, not this generation, but a couple of generations ago.
Probably so.
But I thought it was like the glue. Anyway, yeah. So they're coming back with basically saying that your climate is too humid, but yet he's living in Chicago now, which is right next to one of Apple's flagship stores.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. And it brings up another question that someone was asking me the other day, which is Apple Care worth it for your Apple devices?
Ooh, now that's interesting.
Because I would say that for iPhone...
Now, to get this straight, they're specifically saying that since this is a climate condition causing this, it's not covered by Apple Care.
I don't think so. But, I mean, this guy eventually got it fixed. He was just complaining about it, and it's kind of funny. You know, one of those things where a big company just makes a mistake. I don't know. But someone was asking me about Apple Care. I don't know how much it is for computers. For iPhones, it's like $100 or something. It essentially extends the like 30-day warranty to like 1 or 2 years.
A couple of years, I believe. It always felt like that Best Buy warranty they were always trying to push.
No, but it actually works. Is the problem? Is the difference? Like
actually works.
I mean,
I don't know. I've exploited a Best Buy
really
license agreement. Yeah,
generally before. Extended warranties, I find that it's hard to convince them to actually like fix your product. They'll claim that it's not. It doesn't actually. The problem that you're having does not actually fall under the terms. But the iPhone, if you have Apple Care, usually they'll just give you a replacement no matter what.
Right.
Even if you like.
Normally, it's if you're honest about it. Like if you're like totally trying to cover up that you dropped this thing in a toilet, like they're not as forgiving as if you just come up in there and basically be like, "I'm an idiot."
Also, if you're a attractive woman, flaunt yourself.
That always seems to. That's never a
Works
hindrance.
For me.
It seems always. Me too.
Now we reach the point of our show where we would have a sponsor. Apple, feel free to sponsor us.
Yes, Apple. They're not coming. They're not knocking. They've got their own problems.
Most exciting this week is our
subreddit of the
week. I don't know why we keep doing it. Braden, what is the subreddit of the week?
Our subreddit of the week, Gavin, just so happens to be a little thing known as r/classical music, where the fine, refined folks of r/classical music speak about classical music.
It's a very refined subreddit.
I think so. I honestly believe this, that they are very fine, refined people, and I've enjoyed talking to them throughout the day on the post that they gave me, or that we did on there, and then they responded back and everything. Do you know what their up and down arrows are? I always like to point out what people use as the upvotes and downvotes.
Oh yeah, the how loud you're supposed to play the music.
Forte and pianissimo. But it almost seems like
no pianissimo is 2 P's.
You're correct.
Bass.
There's a 3 P's. What's 3 P's?
pianissimo.
Our music just automatically died.
No,
Oh,
that's good because we don't want to play the whole time. So how's the
Fine.
so tell me about the stories that they post on /r/classical music.
Well, it seems like a lot of their top posts are actually kind of funny posts and stuff. I was actually sending my wife, you keep mentioning her, not an admin on this subreddit, just FYI, but I've been sending her a bunch of the jokes through chat throughout the day, and she's enjoyed them. But, she's a music teacher, so why wouldn't she?
There's I can't even pronounce that word. 29,103 musicians on the subreddit. And I mean
Cacophony?
something like that. So what are the top all time?
Now you're going to bring up the thing that I don't have currently pulled up. Let's talk about the one that we actually posted, and we've got some actual nice responses and stuff back in there today. While I pull up the top of all time, I know it's a joke, I believe, but okay. So we got into a kind of an interesting discussion about using, we're trying to meld tech with classical music here. What out there can people use tech for within music? Well, you got all the recording industry and everything, but specifically, I was asking about using a tablet device as your sheet music. And there seems to be kind of a little bit of a back and forth between some people still like the old paper way, and some people are very, very fond of using an iPad for viewing their music.
I mean, I can see it as I used to play the piano, and it's probably like ebooks now, right? Like some people read a ton of books, and the value they see in reading in a digital reader is that you don't have to carry around all that stuff, and it's all always organized and stuff.
Right.
Where like people like me who have like one or two books like I read one book a year probably, like I'm not going to get that lost. It's fine to have the paper version. I would think maybe it's the same way. Like if people, if players don't have a ton of stuff, it's cool for them just to have the paper stuff.
So some of the biggest complaints that they have about them though is eye strain seems to be one after you play for an hour or so using a tablet device.
People play for an hour?
Yes. Well, what do you think about these large symphonies and stuff? I mean, they're playing for hours at a time. They've got movements that are hours long.
I guess.
But okay, so you got eye strain there. You've also got you still have to turn the page somehow.
Yeah, you press the screen.
But that page has to refresh real quickly, and by that point, you've already lost where you are in your music and stuff.
Whoa! That should be a place where are you saying that's where the e-reader lacks? Because that's where the e-reader should shine, right? You click the page, and it should be caching. It should go faster than a page turn.
All these people that have been talking about it, I haven't actually seen an e-reader that's been doing this, like with an e-ink screen.
They're just talking about iPads.
iPads mostly, yes.
No, that's what I'm saying too. Like iPads should be the fastest. E-ink would be slower.
I would agree, but I think an e-ink screen would be the way to go.
Or
if you
it
can
should
get
scroll,
it to,
as
or
Doug
something
points
like
out.
that.
Which do they have apps that do that? I think I've talked to someone.
Somebody posted about this. There's a foot switch that you can use that'll make the page turn for you.
But shouldn't you have something where the iPad listens
and knows
and
what
picks
note
up
you're
the
on?
beat and knows where you are? That seems obvious.
I
to
think
me.
I would think that would be the
because
way to go too.
You know it's possible because we've got these apps. What's it called that identifies the songs?
Shazam.
Shazam basically identifies a song based on the beat and where you are in the song, and it even has a feature where it'll scroll along the lyrics with it. So that technology is out there. They just need to get it into an app if it's not already there.
Okay, so using that knowledge, I think the ultimate device of this, because another complaint is there's just no tablet with a big enough screen for, because most people, they have like 3 or 4 things all laid out in front of them. They kind of want to know.
Like, tape it together and have like 6 things.
You want to know what's coming up more than just the single page that's in front of you right now. So
you need a
really wide e-ink screen that will listen and turn the page with you or scroll along with you.
So what if you had like...
There's total market for this if you can pull this off,
This would be super expensive, but what if you just had like 6 iPads and they networked... Hear me out. They network together via Bluetooth.
Okay.
So like it basically acts like one big device. Can it do that? I don't even know.
I don't think
you
so.
pull up the same app on all the screens. It networks via Bluetooth, and then it basically like... I'm thinking a piano situation here. It replicates that situation where you've got like 6 pages wide of piano music. and it basically, you can decide what you want it to do. You can keep the thing where you're playing in the center right now, or you can like keep it the steady until you reach the end. It's ultimately customizable.
Okay, but isn't that kind of taking away a little bit of the ease of use of a tablet, where you have, you don't want multiple pieces of paper. Instead, you're going to have multiple tablets sitting out. You essentially have to carry this around in a large trunk of some sort to put out all your iPads in front of it. And who's got the money? Well, I should take that back. If you got money for a giant grand piano, why wouldn't you have money for 6 iPads to just set up? They could be iPad 1s.
Yeah, get the
old ones.
Get the crappy piano instead of the get the Yamaha instead of the I don't know what's good.
Steinway.
Yeah, get the Yamaha instead of the Steinway.
I'm sure somebody from classical music can find a better piano, but okay. So finally, it loaded. But the very top of all time is the Cleveland Orchestra went all out for Halloween is the title, and it is a picture of the Cleveland Orchestra. I've got a Captain America, Thor, the Hulk's back there.
See, I'm surprised that got.
They're all superheroes.
I'm surprised that got top rating because classical music snobs tend to be like, blah, we should not, blah blah blah. Like people dressing up in an orchestra piece. That seems.
People dressing up. Who does that? Jeez.
The other cool thing that came out of our Reddit post was the fact that there's an alternative to Finale, which this has been the bane, at least when I was in high school.
There's a couple of them on there that they posted.
Grade school, the bane of my existence, right? If we ever wanted to write down some music, you didn't want to write it, you wanted to do it in computer, but Finale was like $5,100.
$200, I think.
So you could either get it by nefarious ways, or you could. Well, that was your only option. But now there's an open source version. What's it called?
Well, okay, hang on. You've got Finale plus Sibelius. Okay, that's made by Avid.
That's just as expensive, if not more.
Say that again? Sibelius.
And then there's Lily Pond, which is an open source alternative, which looks really cool. And they've got a online version called. Well, I don't even see it.
Lily Bin.
Which is almost exactly like JS Fiddle. Where
JS Fiddle, never heard of that.
JS Fiddle is like a website where you can like put HTML and JavaScript in the left-hand side, and it automatically renders like what's going on in the right-hand side.
Kind of like Squarespace does, if they were a sponsor.
But it's like it creates like a permalink so you can send out code samples. But that's kind of like this is. You put the code to the music on the left-hand side, it puts it out on the right-hand side, and it looks super. It integrates with Dropbox. Man, I just want to use this. Have you ever used this, Andrea?
No.
Show her.
Sorry.
You're fine. Are you actually joining in on our... Okay. My wife, everybody.
Anyway.
I don't have a camera or a microphone pointed at her because I didn't think she was going to be here. But continuing on. There was a little bit more discussion going on within the subreddit, and everybody seems to be generally like happy about us being here and not think that we're spammers, and we love that.
Unlike last week, where the
nobody showed up.
People did not.
They downvoted us to hell.
That's true. Although none of them are watching live.
That's true. Where are you guys?
They'll all watch later, probably.
They do want to see the videos.
They can give us a phone call at 678-8TECH81.
Did you just notice that it's on there now? That's a recent update to the website, folks. The phone line
Leave
to
us
call
a phone
in.
message if you have a comment on how stupid we are about classical music, even though Braden's wife is a classical music expert. I think she's here late because we're done talking about classical music.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Anyway,
continuing on.
What else?
What else? We got tech stories because that's what we do.
Does the podcast you listen to affect your outlook on life? This is something you posted, Braden.
I did, because I've been called out lately as to being more and more cynical about things because I listen to cynical podcasts.
Like No Agenda.
Like the No Agenda show. And my worldview has been skewed, and some people now think I'm a Republican for some reason, despite that show not being really a Republican show at all.
So I
Right.
I agree that like, well, No Agenda is not Republican. They're just anti everything, and I agree that like the media you take in really affects you, right?
Okay.
So I have actually thought about that. Like, no matter what John and Adam Curry on No Agenda talk about, it's going to be like either this is crap or this is a conspiracy. Like, they're never going to say like something's good. Have they ever said something's good?
Not
No,
really, no.
no. But I think as long as you like, as long as you consciously think about that and not just believe that they're like normal people, this is a podcast that they're selling this form of entertainment, and people tune in because they want this form of entertainment, and they're not gonna just dilute what they're doing because they can. But I mean, the same goes for all TV, right? Like, do you really analyze what? Do you think about what? Like
When I
news,
watch Ren and Stimpy, I
when you-
don't think about going out and slaughtering things.
but like
or
people
even more violent cartoons than that might be more relevant to today.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is actually a pretty intense conversation that we're getting into. That like, does violent movies or do violent video games affect like kids to make them violent later on? That's a highly controversial
and
debate, right? Because some
Probably
people
being
think
debated quite a bit right now
Lots
in the
of-
media,
yeah,
which will then be covered by No Agenda.
lots of people think it's true, and lots of people think it's false, right?
Yes, or what side do you stand on, and what have you been listening to lately that's going to skew your thoughts on the matter?
I don't know. So, are you going to try and curb your enthusiasm on No Agenda?
I guess I didn't listen to it today, so they just recorded today, but so
Speaking of
I'm gonna
podcasts-
take a little break, I guess.
So speaking of podcasts, you post a story that you're going to try and achieve inbox zero in the new
Achieve
year.
inbox zero.
What
The
is it?
ultimate goal of inbox zero, which I think we've talked about this before.
What is inbox zero?
Inbox zero is having absolutely no emails in your inbox. Just simply not having any emails to worry about. They're all just gone.
It's a
all taken care of.
It's a concept coined by, I believe, Merlin Mann on his website 43 Folders.
Yes.
And it's the idea that you don't use your inbox as a to-do list. You use your inbox as your incoming mail, and you process the mail, and you sort it out appropriately or take care of it appropriately as soon as possible, so that
It's gone. And it's not sitting there with a little number saying, hey, you have this to do. Do it now or do it sometime soon. You just get rid of the number.
But relatedly, Merlin Mann has a podcast called Back to Work. That
Yes.
I've tried to convince you to listen to, but you thought it was crap.
Hang on. That would be one of those other podcasts that I would listen to and still be more cynical, because they're these, like, they try to be funny. And they're trying
Merlin
to be
Mann is
funny.
hilarious.
They're trying to be funny while, like, being all woe is me about things. Like the couple episodes that I listened to recently were like, oh, this is the last Back to Work that we're gonna do forever,
See, you shouldn't have
forever and
listened to
ever
that
and
one.
amen.
You shouldn't have
And
listened to that one.
it's because nobody watches, just like this show. But look at us, we're still here, Gavin. And
Have we been doing this crap for 72 episodes? I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
But so I was listening to Back to Work recently, and he actually is revisiting some of his Getting Things Done,
There it is.
which
Wait.
is a book.
Who's on the cover there?
This is David Allen.
That's not either of those people.
So David Allen is Inbox Zero is kind of a form or a subset, I guess, of Getting Things Done. Wow,
Okay.
that turned yellow. Anyway, Merlin Mann is going over Inbox Zero and Getting Things Done in his episodes, his Back to Work episodes 95 through 98, and actually
95 through 98. So those are the couple that I
I'd
need
say
to check
it
out.
goes directly to like 97. 97 or 98. They're super interesting. It kind of goes over Getting Things Done in a high level. Although you should buy the book, it's really good. Getting Things Done is just kind of Inbox Zero, but for your life.
Got it. So I should read that book?
Yep.
You're going to let me have that book after you're done with it?
I feel like David Letterman.
Yes.
right there.
You like your Dave. I thought you were a Conan guy.
I used to like David Letterman until he started smelling. All right.
Heard it here first, folks.
Any other news stories? We're running out of time here.
Well, Santa Claus is coming, Gavin. What are we going to do to find when Santa Claus exactly is coming to my house around here so I don't have to stay up all night?
NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, has a Santa tracker, right? That's what I used when I was
So all that technology that we use to track missiles and keep us safe here is currently going to track Santa Claus, is what you're telling me.
Pretty much. I mean, you must have used this when you were...
I think we talk about this every year.
But the story is that NORAD started using Microsoft Bing Maps instead of Google Maps. Is that right?
Ouch. Another blow to Google Maps. But, you know...
But Google now has its own Santa tracker.
Yeah.
You can get
Have you seen their site? It's really nice. Even the mobile side of it is really nice.
Going to google.com/Santa tracker. Right now it's counting down the days
until... It's a very HTML5 page you got there. It's really nice. It scales well.
So until Santa departs, 4 days, 7 hours, 39 minutes, and 38 seconds.
Now, do you think like kids of tomorrow will like be watching this type of thing instead of like camping out under Christmas trees to like, you know, has technology taken over to that point?
Camp out under Christmas trees?
Yeah, totally do. You didn't do that when you were a kid?
Mommy Kissing Santa Claus?
Is that a movie?
Underneath the mistletoe.
Or are you just quoting a song to me?
You didn't even see down the stairs to have a treat.
Is it reading the lyrics to you? Is that what's going on here?
No, I'm just making that up.
Sure, right.
I know the lyrics really good. That's how I prove really well, really good. I know the lyrics.
We're wonderful with words.
I know the lyrics really well. Yeah, so that's that. Everybody check that out. What else? Last few things. Pinball was removed from Windows Vista.
Why?
There's a great story about that. Why it was crappy code and they needed to port to 64-bit and they couldn't do it. So it was left out of Windows Vista. I loved that pinball.
I do like that pinball
Space
game.
Cadet pinball?
Yep. It's tough. Have you gotten like really far into it and like did all the missions and stuff that are on there?
I think there was a cheat code, wasn't there? I think you used that.
I did not know there was a cheat code, but all right.
Anything else, Braden?
I think that's about it. There's a couple more stories in there, but you should go to our subreddit to check out the rest of the stories that we didn't talk about this week. That is at r/TechTalkTonight. Where else can they find us on the web, Gavin?
As I pull up the website, they can chat us at IRC. They can email us info@techtalktonight.com. They can tweet us at techtalktonight. They can Facebook us at facebook.com/techtalktonight. Or they can find us on iTunes by searching Tech Talk Tonight in the iTunes Music Store, podcast store.
And they can
but
find...
it's free, so it's not a store. It's really a flea market or a soup kitchen of podcasts.
They can find me on Twitter at Braden H. And where can they find you, Gavin?
At Gavin R. or at Gavin Rehkemper if you're my close friend.
And if you're my close friend, you can find me at The Real Braden H. Endorsed by at Braden H. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Just want to say a very Merry Christmas if we don't see you before then, and Happy Holidays to the rest of you heathens.
Tune in for our Christmas episode after Christmas.
Christmas extravaganza.
Yes.
Can we call it a Kwanzaa?
Eggnog.
Yes. We'll bring back the eggnog this year. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been Tech Talk Tonight. We will see you next Wednesday. And it crashed!